So it's asking us to find the highest and lowest values of this function right here, this cosine function. So remember what we know about cosine and sine functions. We know that this 68.7, this added number on the end, is going to be our midline. So we can draw up kind of a midline roughly about here. And we know that that's going to be this y value, 68.7, right? Okay, so then how do we find this value right here at our highest point, and then this value right here at our lowest point? Well, we know our amplitude is 43.2. So our amplitude is how far it stretches from the midline. So all we have to do is add that 43.2 to 68.7 to get what this value would be. So then we get 68.7 plus 43.2, and that's going to be 111.9. So that's going to be our highest value. And this is in thousands. And then for the lowest value, we're going to subtract 43.2 from 68.7. 68.7 minus 43.2, we end up getting 25.5. And then again, this is in thousands. Okay, so it's asking us to find a possible trig formula with that looks like this graph. So with a minimum value at 0 and a maximum value at this point, 3 pi over 8, 5. Okay, so let's label some things that we know. So we know that this point right here is 3 pi over 8, which means, and this is the middle of our period, so this point right here would be 3 pi over 4. If we doubled this, 3 pi over 8, this would be 3 pi over 4. We know that the height of this goes all the way up to 5, so the midline is going to be right about here, and it's going to be 2.5, right? Okay, and we know that it can be a sine graph, it can be a cosine graph, but I think it's easier if we make it a cosine graph because it starts here at like a valley, and that's kind of how our cosine graphs do, except they normally start at our peak. So this is a reversed cosine graph, so it's negative. Okay, so this is kind of the chunk we're looking at. So now we need to figure out all of the things that we know. So we're using g of x, and it's a cosine of bx plus k. Okay, so a is our amplitude. So a is how far we go from the midline to the top of the graph, which is going to be 2.5. So we're going to add, we're going to multiply by 2.5 on the front. And remember we talked about this graph being negative because the cosine graph is flipped. So k is the height of our graph, so how far up the midline is. So the midline is 2.5 up. It's convenient. Plus 2.5. So now we have to figure out b. So remember our formula for b is period equals 2 pi over b. We know our period to be 3 pi over 4 is equal to 2 pi over b. Solving that for b, we end up getting b is equal to 8 over 3. So finishing this equation out, we have negative 2.5 from our amplitude, cosine of 8 over 3 from our period, x, plus 2.5 from our shift up. For this next one, is asking us to find the amplitude, period, phase shift, and or vertical shift of the graph. So we have negative 3 cosine of 4x minus pi over 2 plus 1. And I'm going to rewrite it because it's going to help us out for one part. I'm going to factor out this 4. So then I get x minus pi over 8 plus 1. Okay, so step 1, amplitude. That is this point right here, right? That tells us how far our graph is stretching. And we just want to take the absolute value of that. So we don't need that negative. So the absolute value of -3 is going to be 3. For our period, we're looking at this 4 that's multiplied by our x. And so remember, period is equal to 2 pi over b, where what's in our function is b. So we're looking for p. So we know that p is equal to 2 pi over 4. So then our period is equal to pi over 2. Our period is pi over 2. And then our next step is our phase shift. So that's if we're shifting left or right. We have inside, we have this minus pi over 8. And so remember, if it's on the inside, it's kind of flipped. So we're moving to the right, pi over 8. Pi over 8. Right. And last thing, our vertical shift, that's going to be our addition or subtraction on the outside, and it's adding, so we're moving up, and we're moving up 1. So vertical shift 1, and we can put a little up. Okay, so it's asking us to find the equation of a line that intersects the x-axis at this angle pi over 3 and passes through the point 5, 6. So we're going to drop like an imaginary line down here, and then we're going to pretend that this is a right triangle. And so we need to find rise over run, with this being our rise, 6, but we don't know the distance here. So we can use our trig functions that we know, and we can say that tangent of pi over 3 is equal to our opposite over adjacent, so that's going to be our rise over run. So tangent of pi over 3 is equal to the square root of 3. And so now we just need to solve our equation. So we know our y equals mx plus b is our standard form for a linear equation, and we just found m to be square root of 3. And so if we use this point, we know we can say 6 equals square root of 3 times 5 plus b. Solving that for b, we get b is equal to 6 minus 5 times the square root of 3. And then if we were to put that back into our equation, we have y equals square root of 3 x plus 6 minus 5 square root of 3. And that will be our equation. Okay, so it's asking to find a formula of the form a tan bx plus k of this graph here. So we're really just looking at one of these tangent lines, right? And so let's label some things we know. Okay, we know that this is the point 0, 1. We know that this is the point 0.5, negative 3, right? And we can tell that this period, right, the period is 2, right? We also know that if we go from this point to this point, that's a change in 4, right? Okay, so now let's kind of start setting this up. So our formula, a tan of bx plus k. Step 1, let's figure out a, so that's how much we stretch. So that's going to be this 4. It's going to be this difference, and we're going to want to subtract the point on the or on the y-axis from the other point, and that's going to give us our stretch. So we end up getting a is equal to negative 4, and that makes sense where our tangent function is upside down. Okay, so then our b is our period, and it's kind of like our period for our sine and cosine graphs, but our period is equal to just pi over b for our tangent graph. So in this case, we have 2 is equal to pi over b. So that means b is equal to pi over 2, right? And then our last value that we need is k, and our normal tangent function sits on the origin, but this one is just 1 above the origin, so that means we shifted up by 1. So k is equal to a positive 1. So our final graph is going to be -4 tangent of pi over 2 x plus 1. So it's asking us to find the period for each of these functions, and so this first one is 6 tangent of 1/8 x, and so this is our b, and remember our equation for period is period equals pi over b for our tangent functions. So plugging in 1/8 into this, we get p equals pi over 1/8, which is just going to simplify down to 8 pi. So our next function is going to be -3 cosecant times 2/3 x minus pi. And so our b in this case is this 2/3 right here, but our period equation for our cosecant function is going to be p equals 2 pi over b, back to our sine and cosine ones. So then now we need to plug in 2/3 into this, so then we get p equals 2 pi over 2/3, and it's going to simplify down to 3 pi. So it's asking us to name any 2 vertical asymptotes for this graph. And so we know that our period is equal to pi over b, which in our case is pi over 6, right? So our period is going to be 6, and we can see that this graph is centered at the origin, right? It's not shifting left or right, it's not shifting up and down. So our graph is going to look something like this, right? Centered here, right? And it's positive, so it's going to go normal, and it's stretching by 4, but doesn't matter too much, not for our asymptotes. So that means our first tangent function is going to look something like this, right? And we're going to have asymptotes right here and right here. And we just said that this period is 6 right here, and this is centered at the origin. So this has to be 3, and this has to be 3. So this point here is going to be 3, and this point here is going to be -3, right? Yay, awesome. So we can just write those down. We can say x is equal to 3, and x is equal to -3. We can go one further, and we can add 6 to each of these and draw a whole nother tangent graph, right? And this one here. Right, and so if we add 6 to both sides, or subtract 6 on this side, we get this is -9, and this is +9. So we could also say x is equal to 9, and x is equal to -9. Okay, so this one's asking us to name 2 vertical asymptotes for the graph of y equals -5 secant pi over 6 of x. Okay, so again, we're going to use this period here, this pi over 6. So if our period equals 2 pi over 6, then our period is equal to 12. And remember, our secant graphs are like the other parts of our, like a cosine graph. So let's draw this as if it were a cosine graph first, and then we can look at like the differences. Okay, so it doesn't have, it's not shifting up and down, it's not shifting left or right. It is negative, so we're going to start here at the bottom, right, at -5 because of that amplitude. And we're going to start this at the top, we're going to do 5, and our midline is going to be the center. And so our graph is going to look something like this, right, where this is 12, because our period is 12. So this right here is 6. And then if we keep cutting ourselves in half, this is going to be 3 right here, and this is going to be 9. And so remember our secant function is going to be the curves that do like this, right? And like this, and like this. And so our asymptotes for our secant function are going to be these lines right here, right? So we know that our asymptotes are going to be at x, oh my goodness, x equals 3 and x equals 9.